Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition to SJR7, Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
In Nevada in 1990, the voters affirmed by state referendum protections of abortion access up to 24 weeks, and after 24 weeks in a hospital when in cases of the life or health of the mother. Nevada has some of the most unrestricted abortion laws in the nation. Additionally, parental notification isn't even required for a minor receiving an abortion in Nevada. So why SJR7? SJR7 is an expansion. It seeks to insert into our Constitution in Article 1 a laundry list of reproductive medical services. It seeks to give immunity to those persons and facilities that perform abortions, and in a disturbing amendment, it now strikes informed consent. Why? When is less information ever a good idea? Isn't medically accurate information based on best available science in the patient's best interest and giving consent to medical procedures a good thing? So again, I ask, why SJR7? Nothing has changed the legality of access to abortion rights here in Nevada since the Dobbs decision. And why? Because of the 1990 referendum backstop protections. Fearful hypotheticals of this expansion is disingenuous. Nothing we do here in this body can alter the referendum protections. And when I say nothing has changed, I mean nothing. Yes, even minors are still getting abortions without parental notification, before Dobbs and after Dobbs. But ironically, in Nevada law, minors cannot get their ears pierced or get a Tylenol at school without parental consent. And now this too could be enshrined in our state constitution as a fundamental right. So again, I ask, why SJR7? Article 1, Section 20 of the Nevada Constitution, titled Rights Retained by the People, has what is referred to as the saving clause. Don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole book. The enumeration, this is the right in Section 20, rights retained by the people. The enumeration of rights shall not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people. The Federal Bill of Rights and Article 1 of the Nevada Constitution, therefore, do not confer rights, but protect those that the people already possess. Since it is impossible to list all of those rights, this section saves for the people all those rights that they possess, but that are not explicitly listed here.
And Assemblywoman Hanson, you are approaching 3 minutes. If
okay,
you could
this
please wrap
is the
up.
last. Thank you so much for the indulgence. SJR7 is duplicative in regards to certain protections already protected, but most worrisome is its expansiveness and the intent behind removing its informed consent protections required everywhere else in the medical field. I urge my colleagues to vote no. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition to SJR7. Order of Business 15, please.
Order of Business 15.
Thank you, sir. Most of you in this body probably don't want to hear from a man on this issue, but I believe as a man and as a father, we need to speak up more about this issue specifically. Since 1990, abortion up to 24 weeks into pregnancy has been protected in the state of Nevada. This can only be changed by a ballot initiative from the voters in which a majority of Nevadans vote to change these abortion protections. In 2021, polling by the Associated Press found that only 34% of Americans believed abortion should be legal into the second trimester, with approval dropping off below 20% in the third trimester. Senate Joint Resolution 7 does two very destructive things. First, it takes away the people's power to change abortion laws should they ever desire to. Second, it expands existing abortion protections up to birth, far, far beyond where most Americans believe it should be protected to. In other words, all SJR7 does is set a new, extremely liberal protection for abortion and make it more difficult for Nevada voters to adjust those radical new abortion protections. Given the controversial nature of this issue on abortion, I see no legitimate reason why, as the people's representatives, we we should enshrine. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous about this one. This really hits home for me. I see no reason why, as the people's representatives, we would enshrine such an extreme expansion into our state constitution and revoke the voters' right to change the law. That's my view on the legal and political side of this issue. Now onto a much more personal issue regarding the topic of abortion. I understand and recognize the fact that many view abortion to one extent or another as a necessary evil. I must say that I respectfully disagree with you. Many people whom I have personally known, many men and women who I call my friends and family, barely escaped abortion when they were in the womb. By grace alone and against all odds, my own mother decided not to abort me. It was the late 1960s. She was a single mother of 4 other children already. She was under extreme pressure from family and friends. I like to think I've had a good impact on this world. If I weren't here, my kids wouldn't be here, a lot of my family wouldn't be here, and I thank God every day for that. Also, my own niece, who many of you met on the night I swore in here, she wouldn't be here if her biological mother had chosen a different route, which she was well on her way to before she was greeted with the idea of adoption. What worries me is that our culture at large, some, and I do not mean to impugn anybody in this room because I do have the utmost respect for you. You have stood up and answered the call to serve your state. Some have moved even further beyond the necessary evil view of abortion and see that the practice of abortion is inherently good and worthy of celebration. I cannot and will not view it as anything other than evil. On the record, Mr. Speaker and fellow assembly members, I'd like to say abortion can and never will be inherently good. Again, it is only evil. For all these reasons, I'm entirely opposed to SJR7.
Thank you.